routes. But now, those bridges are huge choke points. You have 4 teams camping that bottom bridge.
Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and take a look here because this is even uglier than what we saw earlier because now it's just a smaller version of the map we saw before. So again, the river just cuts on through here. And like you mentioned, we have one team on this side of the bridge, one team. The only bridge that has not been touched yet is toward the north. Again, next circle will really influence how these teams play. If it ends up going on over toward the left side, something along this,
oh man,
then all your teams in Rust Bay have massive advantage. Meanwhile, though, if it cuts on over toward this side, where now all these teams from Rust Bay, they get choke point onto that bridge that Heaven is currently making their way towards, and SWAT is already there, but it looks like you already see these teams starting to make their way on in right away. Being Southeast Asia, though, we should be seeing some med strats. It does look like teams are going to come on down. I think we also have someone at the very top over there as well, and one team still by Safe Store.
Yeah, not that much information for some of these teams right now. We are actually seeing a bit of a firefight coming in between NRX John and Team Up. Yeah, holding on to this position. Both sides want to try and make their way over. And you talked about that top bridge, but nobody's actually moving towards it. Everybody wants to go down from this bottom bridge.
Oh, Private Plork, he's spotted out here. Can they get the tip of his head? Oh, Zippy's going for it. Zippy gets the shots and gets the knockdown. They do trade, though. Both of them able to find their shot. Let's see, though. Teve is the only one remaining of Up outside. Is just going to get gunned on over here by JZ. 6ix9ine's also going to pop on over there, and that'll be it for Up. They've secured themselves 4 kills in the first round, but get eliminated quite early.
Beautiful shots coming in from NRX. They managed to find themselves a couple of quick kills into this next stage of the game. 10 minutes in, we're looking at 38 players live, right on schedule.
There's someone's gun still going off here.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Added
weird.
sound
I think it was Zippy actually. It was almost like glitched there for a quick sec while he was down. His gun was still firing.
It's just like that moment when you get down to like Left 4 Dead when you still have your guns up. And you still like you're just like shooting and you just like wait for somebody to res you. He's just like holds onto this machine gun. Just like.
I think what game it was back that when you went down, if you got a kill on somebody, you got back up. I think that was Modern Warfare 3 in their survival mode that they had. You went into Last Stand. If you were able to kill one enemy in front of you, you were able to revive yourself with like 1 hit point. It was a weird mechanic, really weird mechanic.
Interesting.
Give me Last Stand. I remember all the. Oh, I remember what was it, Martyr? Martyr, the perk, the death streak everyone hated with passion, where you went down, you dropped a grenade, and then people would run over your body, and then they just get blown up. I remember that. I remember a lot of people not enjoying that. So Up's going to be confirmed to be killed here.
Yeah, along with Plushies there. It's an interesting one.
Plushies, yeah, we saw their points there too. They're only sitting around, I think it's 1,400 right now for their grand total, which is a bit low. Very low, actually, considering Kazoot Squad was sitting around 700 yesterday. So if you're within 1,000 of Kazoot Squad, you're very low at the moment.
Yeah, it's not a good place to be, especially considering we're already into week 6.
Yeah, I think, honestly, for Vietnam, I think this might be the last time they play. I think they're now finished. I think they've played 25 rounds after tonight.
Oh,
I'd have to double check. Because I've casted a lot of Vietnam.
A lot of
Vietnam. I think the only one we didn't do yet was yesterday, so that's why I'm pretty sure they might be done either today or I think the first day of next week.
You guys come a long way this season.
Time's going by fast, to be honest. I forgot. It's already been like the 4th weekend we've casted. Like, it's time going by too fast. I'm growing old. It's already March. It's almost April. I remember again, like starting to look at places back in December because it was around Christmas is when I was supposed to move. That's why it feels weird. It feels weird.
Well, we'll take a look at this next play zone. Looks like it's collapsing. It still has that big river play.
Yeah. Again, the circle does not want to decide where it wants to go, to be honest.
Bitter Lake
it's still
is absolutely bitter right now. Won't let anybody have an easy game.
Yeah.
Everybody's just clustering around Wheat Town and a little bit around Rust Bay, but
what's lucky, though, is it looks like a lot of the teams that are going to play the circle are already in it. No one has to really cut across. It's still that question of, you know, where exactly is the circle going to end up, or are we just going to, like, end on the river itself?
It's going to be like a tiny dot on this, like, on the river, and it's just, like, has this, like, it's like a shallow part
I
of the
could
river.
see it. I could see it. Ooh, 6-9. Those SVDs have been pretty deadly the last couple of days. Some players have been getting some really nice shots off.
NRX making a pretty good play for themselves right now.
It's Fish's favorite backpack. He loves the head. He loves the head. The eyeballs will move around.
It's a good backpack. It's a good backpack.
And we got Gangster Chicken.
What you looking at? Gangsta Chicken ain't got no time.
Gangster Chicken. Don't got any time for your play.
Gangsta Chicken wants that win.
Gangsta Chicken's already cooked. It looks like he's just been like sun tanning for like a couple days. All right.
Yeah, right now we're watching as NRX are trying to make their way, repositioning themselves right now. It's a little bit difficult. They have this up ridge position, but there are a lot of teams that actually have visual of them, at least to an extent in there.
An SVD from POW, just finding 6-9 repeatedly. So not what 6-9 needs to be doing here. 15 minutes. It's 38 players still remaining. Seal, just on the outskirts of Rust Bay, are holding the fort down.
I mean, they're the king of the hill. They have that top space. But you have
they're on the opposite side, actually.
But you have 3 other teams coming, they're knocking at your door.
Yeah, them and SWAT are sharing the same group of houses there. Fate getting some shots taken at them in response by NRX. Fate looks like they'll be able to rotate that vehicle out of harm's way. We do see Team 11, that's NRX Cambodia, starting to make their way into the circle. They want to try and get to that north bridge before for the rest of it closes. They actually are in a pretty nice spot. They can look to move their way down the river, or you can be dirty here and be panicked, and they're caught in the middle of nowhere. This is really not a nice spot. Their vehicle does provide them some cover, but there's still all those ridge lines they have to worry about, and they're separated as well.
Yeah, this is difficult for them. They have to try to look for an opportunity to try and break away from this space. But again, you know, they're just holding down, waiting for the next person to come in. But they can't afford to let that happen as the teams start to push into this tighter and tighter space.
So we'll see Zippy still looking to hunt down Dirty from above on this ridge. 38 players remaining. We're also going to get our next circle here quite shortly. Pi got themselves out of the vehicle. They're just going to go ahead and get rid of that vehicle.
Good call.
Really Dirty are really hoping that NRX, somebody comes up from behind them, which is a possibility. Heaven could make their way on over. We also got Fate making their way on down. NRX are kind of in a bit of a situation where they're separated and surrounded by 4 teams in every single direction they go.
Right, next play zone. Let's go.
Next play zone. Let's go onto the river. Oh my God, we're actually going on the river. All right, so this actually works amazingly for Dirty.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty just got saved. NRX Cambodia also made their way down along the river path. So question becomes, which side of the river should you be on? And Pi, you should not be out in the open. There's no reason to be out in the open, but like we mentioned, so Dirty have themselves the one shack here. NRX Cambodia, they have the north side. We'll see whether or not Team 6 wants to rotate their way on up and try and make something happen there. That's NR Warriors, but still the issue becomes, what side of the river do you want to be on?
Oh, this is big. Dirty's getting collapsed on.
NRX are just going to go ahead and push on in, but do you want to be on this side or do you want to be on that side? Honestly, either side kind of sucks here because you're along this there's the ridge line that NRX are on that kind of comes down into here that has a lot of elevation. Over here, though, it's wide open fields. There's not a whole lot of cover, and you're just along the edge of the river. So I think it's going to be whoever moves in last will have the best advantage. We do have Team 9 also starting to make their way on over. I do believe that is Ruthless now going to join in. We might have 1 or 2 med strats elsewhere, and we also still have Seal that can make their way up very shortly. I think Seal are actually in the best scenario because they have this first team that's going to go in front of them, try and scout out pretty much the river and see if anyone's going to take any shots, and then they can look to try and eliminate them if no one really does anything about them. 35 players remaining. I think we're just at that 20-minute mark now.
Yeah, looking to see what teams want to do and try to make the decisions. Which side do they want to end up on? Dirty continues to face the assault coming in from NRX here.
Brian having difficulties. NRX actually took everyone. I think it's just Brian alone. And Dirty had it, but NRX have made a really good play to actually just force them away and just overtake them entirely, which works out beautifully because now they get this one shack, but they got teams starting to collapse. They got teams starting to collapse.
Moving in now, we see 4 or 5 teams trying to move into this space, and a lot of it is prime real estate. A lot of teams looking to try and collapse there. Both sides suck, as you mentioned.
Look at that. They're just in a field. They got some hay bales, but that's pretty much it. There isn't a whole lot.
Hay bales only cover one side.
True.
So you have 3 other angles they have to
Luckily,
watch out for.
they don't have anyone behind them except Team 9, which might cause some issues. That's Ruthless making their way on in. 15, Fate, they're still a bit north, but they're on the other side. Again, wherever this next circle goes, going to pretty much kill half the teams just based off its placement. Because there's only that bridge still alive. Teams are going to start taking a little bit too much damage when it comes to the next play zone to feel like they're reliably safe, especially with still so many teams available too. If you try and drive a car in any of these areas, you're likely just going to get lit up and you're going to be stranded in the middle of nowhere. Seal still south here of SWAT, and